So basically, across Africa, travel agents are facing rapidly shifting operational environment from regulatory frameworks, persistent skills gaps, academic and industry, and the principle of utalii. I remember our chairman and president was talking about the gap between what is being taught in school and what the industry is waiting for. And the principal said he's going to align his students to meet the demands of the market. So those gaps exist in the society, in the job market. Associations are having policy influences, government regulations, integrities and ethics in terms of trading ethics, undercutting each other, fraudulent agents moving from one agent to another, clients who don't want to pay, moving again from one travel agency to another. So all these are challenges happening in the industry. So that's why we said that Africa or the world is becoming a global village. And for that matter, we bring around accredited leaders of industry to share experiences so that all our travel agencies can get experience, what's happening in Nigeria, what's happening in Rwanda, what's happening in the rest of the market. So that first and foremost, these challenges are not with you alone, they are everywhere, and how can you be able to tackle them? So, just to start us off, like I said, we have the presidents who have been welcomed and introduced briefly. And I'll throw now to the panelists, starting with Nigeria, or all the panelists. The question here is, what would you say are the top two most structural and market threats that are currently facing the travel agency community in your country? And what are your associations doing about it or to address those challenges? Starting with President of Nigeria.
Okay. Kenya, Jambo. Did I get it right? Sorry. Okay, good. So my name is Yinka Folami. I'm from Nigeria. In Nigeria, we are very nice people. You see, we are going to come to that, yeah? And I'm going to hit at Nikano. Did you notice that when I came on stage, I got up to greet everybody? And I just didn't greet them on the seat. I got up. Your president and everybody. So that's who we are in Nigeria. We're very respectful people. Yeah? Thank you. I would say, before I go to Nikano, I will say that it has been an impressive half a day. It's been impressive. And I've been taking notes. Your organization is superb. And I would like to acknowledge our financial secretary, Mr. Yinka Ladipo, who is there. Please stand up for recognition. And our Chief Administrative Officer, Stanley Diaji, who is there. We've been taking notes, and we are going to model our next AGM sessions after yours. That's one, too. I'm coming to your question, yeah? I also like to acknowledge the fact that you are a forward-thinking association and country, so you deserve a round of applause, yeah? The only thing that I yet do not like, about this gathering is the fact that I don't understand why Nikano put the question about fraud to me, Nigeria. You have to explain that. You honestly have to explain that. So to go to the question, we have, I'm sure we will share similar experiences. Yeah. The biggest threat, and we call it infidelity, we call it a sin. And anytime we write about it, it's in red. The biggest threat to our market is what we call cross-border trading. Yeah? So in that document that you have, you talk about foreign TMCs, competitive practices, right? Yeah. It's not that we do not want foreign currency, foreign players, yeah, foreign TMCs. It's not that we don't want them in our market, but they should respect our market because it's infidelity. And we have the GDS people here. We have Amados here, we have Galilo here, we have Seba here. You see, cross-border trading is extractive to our market. Nigeria used to be the biggest market on BSP. In 2023, 2024, we lost 40% of the market to foreign TMCs. And you are lucky here because you have an airline that is strong. You have Kenya Airways that is pride of Africa. And when you have a strong foreign airline, that airline stands in gap for the market. And that's what you are doing very well. So I'll give you my round of applause, my personal round of applause later. But you can give it to him. So in the market, and let's listen, yeah? It makes no logical sense to us. We have a Nigerian market, right? The travel is from Nigeria, say Lagos. It is a Lagos-London-Lagos travel. Somebody sits in Asia or in Europe. I don't want to mention an African country because I know African countries are here. And he has a better fare for a Lagos-London-Lagos ticket than a Nigerian in the market. It serves no purpose. It is extractive, it is infidelity, and we will kill it in Nigeria, like we say. And yes, it is infidelity, yeah? It's infidelity because it extracts you, yeah? You welcome that person, and that person takes your wife away. It's infidelity. So for the purpose, for your information, the players, the unethical players are under criminal investigation in 2 African countries. What we've done in Nigeria is that we've just settled, right, from the chap funds issue. You understand the chap funds issue. So our market is relatively getting stable. We don't want to upset it, yeah? We are talking to them as colleagues. We tell them what they are doing that is wrong, right? And we hope that they heed. Otherwise, if they don't heed, I think that, some agencies that right, are going to be treated in Africa because they are under serious investigation. And that document has been shared with our government. They are under investigation for money laundering and tax evasion because that's what they do with it. But because they are our colleagues, we want to keep it like that. Secondly, and it's not going to be pleasant to you, but I know that you help your market, yeah? Secondly is that I do not understand, the second problem that we have in Nigeria, I do not understand why airlines choose to compete with those agents. Does it happen to you here? Yes.
Does it?
It makes no... It flies in the face of logic for me. Honestly, it flies in the face of logic. How would you have... And you call yourselves principals, and then you compete with us directly. Then, sorry, I'm in Nigeria and we don't take... Yeah, let me just extend it. I have three. Then the third problem, is AGMs. I don't know if it's a problem in your market. So airlines are not only competing with us, airlines want to kill us. It's like they have a factory of ADMs now and they just dish it out. ADMs are... They're another revenue stream, another commercial product of airlines. Why, when you were doing your presentation, why didn't you put AGM as one of your products? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Yinka Folami. Thank you. Thank you, Yinka. And I think because there'll be a panel for the airlines, the issue of airline competition and ADM will come up for sure. But for now, let them relax because they are one of them is our principal sponsor. We want to go a bit soft on them. But we'll ask the question softly. Same question to Samuel Makuza.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon. So when it comes to travel agents and associations, challenges are almost similar. Allow me to start with where he ended, though the moderator said not to repeat again. For us ADMs, it comes also as an issue, but we always at the association level, we try to work with the members and try to train them and give them some advisor to keep checking on their system and when they are booking. Now, it comes again on the challenges, and most of our members nowadays, there's an issue of online ticketing. Some of our members are not yet migrating or having the hybrid online and office-based selling the ticket. So, but also at the association level, what we do is to keep up with the technology. They should not only keep working on office base. Again, as I can say, almost 2 months, we have been also having an issue of dual currency, but with the government, we are now having some solution. And again, as you know, some of the travel agents, mostly in Rwanda, we are selling outbound. So some of the challenges also are based on the visas, whereby now, especially when you look on the African market, for the inbound, Rwanda is open, but some countries, when it comes to travel and outbound, we're also facing some issues for visa, where now you find some of the clients at last minute, they are canceling their booking. It also affects our business on daily basis. So those are now a few I can share. And we normally try to reach out to our stakeholders and keep working with the government entities to support and solve the challenges as we go on. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Makosa Sama. Thank you. And is there infidelity in your market?
Currently, we don't have. We try now to share in terms of working with our stakeholders. So we don't have that card.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And over to Vice President Tugata Paul Waru.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Greetings from Uganda, the Pearl of Africa. Yes, we are real, not just neighbors. Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania fall under one LFC. So we are one region. Right. So, of course, I think what has not been touched, of course, definitely there. Let's call it infidelity, is there in our market. And I'm glad to hear that our brothers in Nigeria are taking the bull by the horns, and we'll be very, very happy when you share this. As we know, the agencies shall not be named, but we all know who they are, and they know themselves. But they do not show up at conventions like this, I note. Right, so we look forward to actually having some the market in Africa, and by extension in Uganda as well, being streamlined. Cost of doing business in Uganda for travel agencies. We all have bank guarantees, and we know those who are not on IATA Lite, but a standard IATA travel agent. Your BG will be from $3,000 up to $1 million, $1.5 million. And commercial rates are very, very expensive. I'm so happy, KATA, once again, for bringing, finally, the president of UFTA, And he gave us, really twigged our minds and said, how can we do this bank guarantee thing? I think I've taken the message. We should try our best as much as possible to consolidate, because together we are strong, and then the association should underwrite that BG for the willing travel agents. Of course, what have we done as to KATA on that? We've, of course, lobbied for sector financing, and we've had several meetings of late with the World Bank, where they had immediately after COVID, they had something called matching grant, whereby an agency, for example, I'm just going to give a gift figure, I'll give my $30,000, and the World Bank gave another $30,000, and that really, really helped businesses recover. So we want the World Bank to look into this program again. What we've been doing is also negotiating with financial institutions. Members, I'd like to thank you for KCB. KCB is not here. KCB is a locally homegrown bank, Kenya Commercial Bank, but when they are outside Kenya, they just use the KCB. They've come through for a few of our agents to help in bank guarantees at favorable rates. What we have done next as to KATA is we have also opened a SACCO, a savings and credit organization, where our members will every month will be contributing, doesn't matter how small, and little by little, we need to grow our financial base. In the future, we pray or we hope that this money will now help the members or our members in running their businesses. So those are a challenge we've been having. And again, I will also repeat the infidelity. And yes, we talk about cross-border trading. In East Africa, we are unique. We have the East African community. That includes we were about 7 countries now. Everyone is clamoring to join because we are one big happy family. So I speak from experience. I have a small office in Tanzania. And my big competition has been that other competitor who, number one, is non-African. Let's speak. I'm very encouraged by my brother my president sitting next to me. Non-African. And I said, but this person is doing some sensitive business. Can I go as a Ugandan travel agency and go and supply the government of India tickets? Those are questions we have to ask ourselves sometimes, people. This thing called patriotism must also exist. In Uganda, we have something called Bubu. Buy Uganda, build Ugandan. Yeah? I'm sure you also have it in Kenya, Tanzania, Nigeria, because that shows that you're plowing back something to your host country, where you come from, and the taxes you contribute. So, of course, we know that many of these travel agencies do not pay their fair share of taxes. I submit.
Thank you, Pearl. You've touched a raw nerve there in terms of, actually this is a conversation we've been having in Kenya, deep conversation, and I'm glad that the CEO of TRA is here. And is he here? Yes. Yeah, because like what Pearl has said, there are some sensitive business that you cannot expose, and we need to have a conversation around that. And that conversation, KATA has been having it, and the larger travel agency, we are going to have a discourse on that. Again, on ADMs, to the President of Nigeria, I think our technology partners in the house, that is Travelport and Amadeus, they can be able to assist you on how to clean up your ADMs using technology. So that should be not a problem anymore. I think we are getting over that in Kenya by use of technologies provided by our technology partners. So over to Kenya, and you heard what Webbeds talked about. Is it Maandamano Wednesday or?
Thank you. And, I've always been engaging. It's not work. Okay. And I never knew this word infidelity, what it meant. He kept speaking to me about infidelity. But this is the first time today he has talked about what it means. And now somebody coming into your house and taking your wife. Now I've gotten it in literal form. So, but let's come to context of some of these things. I keep asking in my life, is this a hard nut to crack? And life is only sweet if you crack these kind of issues. So what come to Kenya? Of course, that problem is a problem, but it doesn't make logical sense to tell your brother and to tell your boo-boo, is it boo-boo? Boo-boo, buy Uganda, build Uganda. My ticket is $1,000 and I can get it at 800 somewhere else. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? It doesn't make economical, logical sense. Because I'm a Kenyan, buy to me at 1,000 shillings, $1,000 or whatever price, but you can actually get it at $200 cheaper elsewhere. So we need to think around how do we get that ticket at $800 to our brother and do that fair match, rather than extorting our brother by saying, I'm a small guy, I'm a local guy, don't worry, I don't know much. Buy it 1,000. Oh, sure, the train has left. But I think the nut around infidelity is a big one, and we'll crack it. What's come to Kenya? There's one problem that our agents are facing here. And surprisingly, in Nigeria, they don't have it. Maybe unless it has come in. One challenge we have here is that travel agents in Kenya are banks. They are banks. We bank our client. It's evil. It's actually that's another biggest infidelity. Somebody buys a ticket from you, is in a business class, is enjoying, but he has not paid it. And the BSP day is one of the things that pains travel agents in Kenya. BSP date. Because you have to cough your money, you even sometimes don't have it. And the guys have flown with your ticket, institutions are happy, but they are not paying you. Paying you becomes like, it's not your right. Nigeria, they say ticket is cash and carry. I don't know whether that changed, Mr. President. Okay.
Okay, yeah. So I thought that the question was on the industry issues, right? He is very right. We have that issue about credit sales in Nigeria. Yeah. We have it clearly. But personally, I believe that credit sales, it's your personal business strategy, yeah? You can choose to sell on credit, and you can choose not to sell on credit, yeah? So I personally, after COVID, refused to continue to sell on COVID, and I lost some corporates, and it hurt my business, but it's giving me more peace. Yeah, so it's giving me more peace. So it's definitely a problem, but it has to do with except if we can come together and see how we can legislate, service levels. But it's a personal business strategy choice. Yeah.
So thank you. Something then we should learn. When I attended the AGM of Nigeria, they said, "Who gives a credit? Are you a fool?" That was the statement I got. Who gives a credit? Are you a fool? Yet here in our market, we snatch customers from each other by extending. Even 30 becomes 60, even anything. So we create our own problems. These are facts of life, that one of the painful things of travel business is liquidity, is cash. You can, today, the guys can tell me, hey, Doc, we have done $500,000. It looks big, or even whatever number. But the bank account has nothing to show what they have sold. It is nowhere. It's a paper thing. So that is a big problem that this market faces, and it's because we have not been able to crack the nut of speaking one voice. A customer comes to you, you say, no cash, he comes to me, I say 15. In fact, he goes to the next, says 30. And as a result, we just missed our market. That's a challenge Kenyan market do face. That's one. I think we'll crack the nut, we'll find a way to deal with that over time, because we can no longer be a bank. Secondly, another challenge the travel industry in Kenya still faces is around technology. It's of late that, when you look at our business, you do it for posterity. You don't do a business to close tomorrow or that. But when you sit with somebody and tells you, since we started this meeting in the morning, for the last 2 hours, 200 tickets have been done with no touch. You get to wonder. A guy telling you my tickets have been done from Barcelona and 200 tickets have been done and nobody has been involved. So I ask how? We were just talking, the system quoted, ticketed, issued, card ran, allocated, invoice done, closed. No human being was involved. It really thrills. See, when those guys land here, they wipe us out. And very soon they will land here. And the model of employing staff, growing human resource, adding salaries, building that up, you'll find you'll be eaten by a guy who comes and says, I'm charging one number, put your credit card, run your transaction, no staff involved. So really, technology is something we need to think through. We discussed a lot, but when we come to our businesses, you don't see that technology as an enabler. We still get a new client, we are recruiting staff. Where can we get a client and put a technology? It's something that we really need to think about it in this market. So really, those are some of the issues. I think our government regulations, we are able to fight them, manage them a bit. They are a bit uncertain. Probably we see government thinking travel is big revenue, put 16% on it. It's a lot of money for them, but we get to get that organized. So really for this market, the infidelity is there, but I think probably we have kept our wives closer. They are not moving.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Chair. Finance Bill 2024.
So actually this is something interesting. When there was a proposal that 16% was being introduced on VAT, on ticketing services, we decided to take it on. And before taking it on, as usual, I told Nick, never reinvent the wheel. What does that mean? He said, Doc, what do you mean? Let's study elsewhere. What has happened? We went to Israel, went to Turkey, we looked at business models. Then we told Tanzania, the president of ISATA, that we also want to fight this VAT. He said, who fights government? We said we want to give a shot. He said, try, but in Tanzania, we accepted. It works. 16% on tickets. So we sold them. In Kenya, nothing that is like that. We have to give a shot. We have to try. We put our best foot forward. We put layers of consultants. I remember we had PwC. We had another legal firm. They all put presentations, logic through. We won the case. So really, as another knowledge we need, it's nothing impossible. In fact, we sat to the members of parliament and said, we get it. That was the word. It took 40, 50 minutes, and they said, we're getting it. That if you impose VAT, we'll tax. Actually, the word was, you'll tax error. Because what you want to tax will not be there. I would set my shop in another country where there are no VAT, and all my business I will ticket from there. Of course, in infidelity. So it's the laws that sometimes make things uneven. But if we are together as an industry, in Kenya we have been. Today, we don't see a government putting a regulation without consultative process. And that has made our industry stabilize a bit, mature. Probably we may be being abused for some people doing business where there is no 16% VAT. But yeah, we can align that.
Thank you. Thank you. Tugata, 1 minute on that.
Thank you very much, moderator. In Uganda, ticket sales and everything related to air ticket sales is actually zero rated. And that's by the Uganda Revenue Authority. And this was actually something that was my agency brought it to light 15 years ago. So whenever someone rears their head and say, oh, we're charging you VAT, we bring up this URA letter, which says everything related to air ticket sales is zero rated.
Thank you. Thank you. So what that is bringing out is that if you don't fight for your right, you'll utagandamizwa. And we thank the team led by our president, Joseph, who fought that battle successfully. And today we are not vulnerable. Coming back to Rwanda, again, in terms of alignment of the academy and the workplace, what are you doing to align the content taught in schools to what is required in the market?
Thank you. Allow me also to share or to give the structure. Rwanda Association of Travel Agents, We have members around 126, and we are under private sector federation, which also is we are in the Chamber of Tourism. Now, under Chamber of Tourism, there is a Tourism Skill Sector Council. So the Skill Sector Council, we have members from government, from the training or academy. Now, when it comes to, as the question, when it is curriculum development, anything related to travel, all those members forming the Skill Sector Council, they sit together in order to address what is the ground, what are needed in the ground, so that the people now, or the academy, they can solve what's needed on the field. So with that, there is a good engagement with the government through the regulators, whereby now in the academic, as well as also in the industry, we all sit, as well as also the practitioners, the private sector, as I mentioned, to see if really we are saving the market. And we don't look even on the current situation, we look also the sustainability behind, so that at least we can keep growing the travel-related industry. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Samuel. Finally, I want to talk about a common denominator, or the elephant in the room, NDC. There's a lot of fuss, a lot of conversation, a lot of discourse on NDC. And it's an animal that we have walked that journey of NDC for more than 5 years. As uptake is still very low in the industry. And I would like these industry experts, starting with the NANTA president, tell us that elephant. Are you starting from the tail or the horns, if the elephant has a horn?
Elephants don't have horns. By the way, you know, my full name is Yinka Folami. That is, elephant breeds with wealth, yeah? So we don't have horns. So NDC, I think she did a good job, yeah, on the benefits of NDC, yeah, today, because I was following it. As we all know, it's the new distribution capability. It is called modern retailing, yeah. It is a direction of airlines. And you know, when airlines are on a particular direction, that's where they go. You can't stop them. Yeah? So it is a direction of airlines. The rich in Nigeria is about 70% in terms of knowledge. Do we know about it? Yes, we do. But the adoption is probably between 25, 30%. I'm an advocate of the young, and I know that one very good value of NDC is that it puts independence in your hands. True or false, sir? It makes you independent. It's very flexible, right? It gives you access to dynamic pricing. Yeah, the airline, it gives you access to the products, like the products and warehouses of airlines. So the only sensible thing to do, and then IATA strongly supports NDCs, right? Yeah, IATA strongly supports NDCs because, you know, we all know, let's not go there, we all know IATA and the airlines. So IATA strongly supports NDC, and IATA has actually tagged the gentleman there, legacy system. So you are a legacy system now, yeah? But the good thing that some of you are doing is that you are self-renewing, because when you did your presentation now, I can see, we know, because we know Amadeus in our market, that you are also aggregating, and you are, every GDS company has a responsibility to do that. So what do we do, right? Because it is a clear direction of airlines. We encourage our members, yeah, to improve on the adoption rate. And that's what we do. So we give airlines every opportunity and every window to speak to our members, yeah, on NDC. And aside from that, we encourage them, you know, by, you know, throwing out the advantages of NDC. However, NDC has a major problem, and I'm sure, yeah, most of you will resonate with that problem. And he also alluded to it when he was doing his, you have to walk through multiple platforms, yeah? That's a solution that GDSs have that NDC doesn't have. But if you're a student of technology, you know that that problem is just a matter of time, and the integration will happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. But just to mention that you had we stop VAT in Kenya, maybe even NDC we can stop, but I don't want to have a conversation
one other thing
about
that
stopping.
NDC does, one other good thing with NDC is that NDC is driven by modern systems. So we expect AGMs, the incidences of AGMs, yeah? We expect them to go or to reduce, sir. But at least we expect incidences, and that's how it's been sold to us. So we expect incidences of AGMs, to be lower. Thank you.
Okay, let's hear the challenges of NDC in Uganda.
Thank you, Hamisi. I'd like to echo what my president next to me has said from Nigeria. But in Uganda, I'd like to point out Seba and Amadeus. We had 2 very good engagements during the month of April. The first was with Seba, and they brought a very good person to come and talk us through this NDC elephant. And, they explained it so well. That was done. And then 2 weeks later, we had Amadeus, and they also explained to our members. But the rate of absorption, I would say, is only about 10%. However, London was not built, or what do they say, Rome was not built in a day. 1,000 steps begins with 1. So I think when we talk again, this time next year, I'm sure that we would have had a higher rate of absorption. Yes, NDC is modern airline retailing. And if I give you the history of NDC, those of you who are as old as me in this room, it is IATA's tool. And the one who started it, I bet you he's no longer working for IATA, because it started 18 years ago. And I was one of those people in the room when it was first being introduced. And then I said, but wait, you're taking us back to how we were before BSP. Remember, members, BSP came and consolidated all our sales into one platform, and then IATA paid the different airlines. Now, at first, NDC, if I want a ticket on BA, I'll run to a BA window. KLM, another one. So fragmenting the sales. What the GDSs have done for us, or they call themselves aggregators, they call themselves whatever they call themselves now, but to me they're still GDSs. They've helped us because we also need a link to our back office, because you know how tempting stealing from a travel agency is. And our duty is to basically to make sure we have proper back office systems to make sure we can capture every sale, bill on time, and then make sure that our bills are paid also on time, right? Corporate clients, let's talk about, I'd like to just comment on what Dr. Joseph said, that we are not banks. That is true. However, I'm also I am a TMC of FCM. We did last year have a client who was actually demanding 60 days credit, a global client, 60 members. I chose not to do business with that global client, and I told them I will only accept credit card sales. And you know what? Yes, volume went down, but I knew I was getting my money on time with credit card sales. Yes, I can hear what you say. It is a personal decision you take, how one wants to run one's business. But sometimes we are actually forced to become banks. Yeah? But I think from post-COVID, matters have changed quite a bit. We've engaged our clients and they've encouraged our members to do so and say that we can no longer afford 60-day credit like we used to pre-COVID. You'd run us out of business.
Kabisa.
Some people are on weekly remittance, others on twice-monthly remittance.
Thank you. Samuel, please add something on Rwanda. What's happening in Rwanda?
Okay, now the travel as well as also the the line of air transport, we adopt now the competence-based curriculum, where now we work with the industry captains on developing the curriculum. And now some of the TVET-related based, these Amadeus as well as those Travelport or JDSs, they are learned now through or within the higher learning stations, so that to keep that, and especially when it comes to assessing the expected or the student, we look on what the industry is looking for. So the base curriculum competence, it helps now to say and to have the people who are so competent on the market base. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Utali principal, I hope you have heard that. You need to start training students on NDC content, how it is applied, so that when they come to the marketplace, they know how to deal on it. Bringing it now closer home to our chief, because as it has been said, NDC we have to embrace. It is here with us. How do we improve the uptick from 10, 20% to maybe 50% by the end of the year? Chairman.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I think NDC, to me, where I see it is this thing has ever happened. So can you imagine today moving without Uber, and just ordering the taxi the old way? Where is the taxi? Where is it? What? Today you can move freely because of Uber. NDC is, of course, as anything, has had challenges. What we've done with the industry, we have done a lot of training. I don't think there's anybody here who is struggling with NDC and all that. I think the issue has been around servicing, where we issue a ticket and we have issues with the customers we can't service. But when those has been fixed, NDC gives a value proposition in terms of price differentials. But today, if I check in this room, I don't know how many people here are below 25 that are in travel. Probably none, if any. What is the reason? If you sit, and because half of you, not all of you, half of you originated from the consulting world. If I look at your screen when you are ticketing, I'm all from there. I'm all from ticketing as a TC. If I look at your screen when you are ticketing, I just close my eyes. What am I seeing? Command. How do you check the date? How do you check the date? Is the change? It's all scripted. NDC gives us a window base. And this is the new world, where you'll find the 25 years and whatever will come into this market and revolutionize the way we do our business. So, for sure, paper ticket left, the script way of doing things will go. Distribution, whether GDS or whatever, doesn't matter. But I think it's very important to embrace the new world order. Keep resisting, keep refusing. In fact, one time I went to an IATA and airline thing, and they said 2030, they will switch off the old system. Can you imagine you wake up in the morning, find the way you do ticket is not there, and you have not landed DC? What do? So please open yourself. I want us to throw the box away. There should be no box about this is my way. Throw the box away, look for opportunity, throw the problems back to the initiators. If you can't change, if I can't have a long waiting time to queue the ticket, whatever issues we find, let's have them fixed in technology environment, but adopt. Let's get price differentials. I'm happy about KQ. I'm not going to be praising them, but they also are proud, our sponsor this event. Their NDC as a value. What do I call a value from finance? Price. I want to tell the customer, you are saving $50. You are saving this number. That's a tangible value. By telling a client NDC. In fact, one day we rolled an online booking tool to a client. And we said, this is normal fare and this is NDC. So the customer asked us, what do you mean? If I want to do Nairobi Joburg, I want a fare. Why do you tell me about NDC or this other one? And for sure, it didn't make sense. The customer wants a fare within the policy. If the fare is cheaper in NDC, why give him the other one, which is expensive? So basically, let's align our forward thinking. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I know we are extending a bit this session, because when you have 4 or 5 captains of the industry, you make best use of them. So is there anybody with a biting question to this panel? 1 or 2 only? So my panelists, thank you very much, and you interact with the people later in the evening.